A train wrecked to spin fire. The NFT analyzer, diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From mint coins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web3 is a tree, he'll show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in the know.
Good morning, guys. Mega GMs. Yo, happy Labor Day. Yeah. Holiday today here in the States. For some people, for some. I hope you guys. I hope it's your day off. I hope it's you're still on your weekend here. And if so, then let's keep you entertained a little bit on the Monday morning here. Dude, virtuals is, I think we're heading into a really interesting week, like kind of spicy week, some really, really good looking drops coming up. And so I think a perfect opportunity for us to dive into the launches of the week and get you guys in the chat too, if you'd like. And so we're streaming in our usual places, right? We're on Abstract, actually a new one today too, but on Abstract, and we're on X and definitely on YouTube, and come over to the YouTube side and make sure you subscribe here. But we got the spaces rocking over on my personal account. You can find it at Hudah_idiot over on X. And we're also streaming over on Retake. It's kind of interesting, dude. I saw Nick streaming over there recently. I streamed there yesterday morning. I dig it. Dude. I like Retake. It launches you a token. Don't buy the token or do whatever you want. But I'm going to keep streaming over there. I'm going to keep doing it because I'm looking. I think the, tokens for content makes sense. And I don't know what the final version of it looks like, but it makes sense. So I'm going to test out and use these platforms so I can kind of find the one that like, separates from the pack. And I like Retake a lot so far. So we're going to work over there. We're going to do it. Drop King, good morning, man. Good to see you, dude. And Luna, good morning. Thank you for the repost. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Almo, good morning. Thanks for that repost, too. My boy Katz is here. Good morning, man. Moit's here. Good morning, dude. And let me just peek over on Spaces. Rabbit GM and Agent GM. Good to see you guys. Okay, I'm going to try to keep today to, an hour. I don't want to go really long today. It might, but I don't want to. Today I'm working all day. Like I'm doing the newsletter today, right? So I do want to keep this to an hour, and maybe I can sneak in some family time. We'll see. Cat's out of town still. Yeah, dude, all good. Well, I dove into these Genesis projects, and again, there's some really good stuff coming. There is. I think this week we're really going to put, Genesis 2.0 to the test. We're really going to feel it out. Look, we've had some drops. We had some of the drops in the new Genesis, and some of them have done well. I don't think we've seen anything like Aristotle. Like that's different. We'll mention that today too. But maybe this is the week where that starts to happen because there's so many drops. I don't think we've seen this kind of quality maybe in a couple months, to be honest. So looking forward to diving into this. Again, hit the like, subscribe over on CryptoSlam. Follow me at Hudah_idiot. Spaces rocking over there. Follow the Swarm_AI over on X. And a heads up that Finny AI will be on the show tomorrow. We'll get the announcement and the link out here later today, but that's one of our upcoming launches. I think they're actually launching tomorrow, and I might have them at the top of the list for upcoming launches. I think they're really good. Really, really, really good. I'm going to be spending points this week, and that might get the most points from me. But we'll hear from them directly tomorrow on the show, and you make that decision for yourself. They streamed with Nick last night, and I do want to go back and watch that. But yeah, go over to Nick's account and go check out his stream with them. Good team and good project and well connected. And I have a hard time seeing that one not complete. And I imagine it gets to that top tier too, 100K. So we'll find out soon. We'll find out pretty darn soon. Now, like market, and this is more macro, really interesting beginning of the week here for a couple reasons. One, Friday, we had the Donald Trump tariffs ruled illegal, right? So all of a sudden, it's looking like tariffs might be rolled back. Of course, he's going to contest it, but market doesn't really know what to do exactly right now. And look, the stock market's closed. There's, markets are not open here in the States. So we don't really have a good feel for what way it's going to go. So it's a bit of like a waiting game here. So we're watching the crypto market, seeing how it reacts right now, just kind of treading water. But the other big thing happening, and it's happening like right now, potentially, like right now, is the Donald Trump DeFi platform, right? World Liberty Finance, their token launches today. And so it's been trading on pre-market, and it's, 30 plus bill FDV. It's a massive token. And dude, it is like an official Trump token. It is. Even if it's not like his name, you know what I mean? Like, it's the Trump family is very much involved with that. So it is like a Trump token. It's coming to market here as like a top 20 token. Like, it's massive. And so there's a lot of thought that it's gonna eat up all these other coins or meme coins and altcoins, right? That they bleed out or people dump those to get into this token. Because maybe this token's got potential to get to, I don't know, 50 bill, maybe 75 bill. I don't know. I don't know what the market wants to give us. And I do know a lot of people got into the pre-sale of that token and are already up at TGE. They'll be up, I don't know, 5x, 10x, 20x. So we're going to watch and see how it plays out. Do we have buyers for that token? And if so, a lot of those buyers might come at the expense of our meme bags. And I think less about our virtuals bags. It just kind of feels like a different audience, but maybe we'll watch. But you already have people analyzing that World Liberty Finance token. How bundled is it? Dude, it's pretty damn bundled. But it caught my eye that somebody's already, this is our boy Duck Dive, tagging Aristotle on it, just asking him to, fact check the tweet, which is cool. And Aristotle's doing phenomenal. And just got to say, because of something like Aristotle that got to 20, maybe 30 mil FTV, pay attention to virtual stuff. We've got some really good virtual stuff that's been out there. Mute looks pretty solid. Flagship, not Genesis, but prototype that absolutely sent, and Pretty looking so good. Look, don't unplug from virtuals. And I was telling people all weekend, like, stay plugged into virtuals right now. Feels like we're just about to head into some spicy times. We'll get to the market in a quick moment. Just a heads up though, the virtual token, it's now listed on Bitstamp, which is owned by Robinhood. They acquired them for 200 mil earlier this year. So virtual now, reaches a new audience. Also, a reminder that Virtual has their Ethereum hackathon going on still. It's been going on for a couple of weeks now. It's going until the end of September. And you know what happens at the end of the hackathon, most likely, right? What did we see last time around? We saw a whole bunch of great projects launch, right? I'm expecting to see something really similar, like top 10, finishers, and start seeing their launches that are trickled out, on Genesis or prototype. But yeah, we're going to start seeing some really, really big launches coming up over the next few weeks. And then, a month out once this is completed. So just know there's some big shit coming, man. Yeah. Dropking, there's some really great stuff. There's some really great stuff coming right now. Also want to point out, we're not going to deep dive this right now, but on the Virgin Points page on the Virtuals website, Will pointed this out this weekend. I didn't notice it. I don't think this has been there. I do think this is new, but stake B Virtual to earn Virgin points. If it was there, I missed it too. Will did, it's just what Will said. I didn't notice this there, but if I click on it, it takes me to Basis OS, right? You essentially stake USDC. I think that's right. I think that's right. Either way, you can earn Virgin points. For depositing your USDC, and I think it does leverage trading on Virtual. I don't know. I'm not diving into this, but just to show you that there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot going on the Virtuals ecosystem, and how they said they're going to support infrastructure plays. I kind of think this is what that's going to look like. A lot of points, All right, let's get to the market quickly, then dive into the Genesis stuff. I'm excited for this week. Got to be honest. There's going to be some wins out there. All right, AI market cap right now sitting at 12.82 bill. Down just 1.3% in the past 24 hours. Your top agents by market cap. USDT still on top. Wow, 2.8 bill now. That thing's a monster. I still don't really understand it. It's funny how it's not like in our circles, right? And like none of us are buying it and talking about it, or at least that I know of. It's followed by Fartcoin. Wow, dude, Fartcoin down to 735 mil. And that is that one token I look at to like gauge risk, right? Risk tolerance, right? Fartcoin is that leading indicator. It's down almost 9% in the past 3 days. Watch Fartcoin. That's all you need to say. Then we got IRC, Rect, and Turbo. On the infrastructure side, it's FET, Virtual, DCAI, IOTX, and Alt. We looked at AI16Z this weekend too, guys. That one is wild. Just no one okay, I'll say this. I don't know if you saw yesterday, but we saw news that Shaw AI16Z or Eliza OS, maybe all of the above, they're suing X. I don't know if you guys saw that story, but they're suing X. You probably saw that Shaw and AI16Z were banned from X, right? They're accusing Elon Musk and XAI specifically of inviting him there, that saying that they shared their tech. They shared their tech and details about how Eliza OS works, and they're saying X stole it, and they baked that into Grok. And so there's a big lawsuit right now. Again, Shaw suing XAI. I think it's XAI specifically. And we'll see how that plays out. But again, they got banned after they shared those secrets. There's a whole other part of that story, right? Where he wasn't paying his API fees. He wasn't he was going through a third party. That's like the narrative that's out there. But Shaw's saying that's not what happened. So we'll see. I think Shaw's a questionable character, kind of. And maybe so is Musk. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, a really interesting story. We will definitely keep up on that. And then on DeFi, it's Venice on top, followed by Banker, AI Tech, Olas, and Hey Anon. Mike Bennett, dude, it's really spicy. It is. I didn't think the story was going there. I thought Shaw just boogied, right? I thought Shaw just kind of pieced out, made his money. But no, he's saying they stole his tech. It's crazy. And it's just weird to see that AI16Z token at 100 mil. That said, it expires in October. Remember that fund? That fund expires in October. So we have just I don't know, either 4 or 8 weeks to go. And then those tokens get distributed to the AI16Z token holders. So I've been waiting a year to see how that plays out. We're getting close to it. Okay, finally, let's go to Mindshare. Let's do this quick. I want to get to these Genesis launches. But Banker's on top of Mindshare. Wow. Kind of surprised by that. Then Cookie, OpenLedger, Fartcoin, and Morph. There's your top 5. Your top token movers in the past 24 hours. It's Magnus on top. Tiny market cap on this one, 57K. Is this right? Followed by Skill, which is just 14K. Hang on. This doesn't feel right. Or the market's just totally dead right now. No, I think that's it. I think the market's just cooked right now. Flight, Show, and then Ethi. But you know, your top gainer's only up 34%. Again, that's Magnus, 57K FDV. That kind of feels wrong. Maybe not. Again, maybe not. Maybe the market's just that bad right now. And your top losers, CV3AI. Again, these are tiny market cap coins. Then Lester, Dpin, Seraph, and Monk. Pretty interesting. Yeah, you know, everybody's away. I mean, it's the holiday. Volume's low, right? Now, by volume, Aristotle's the one. Hang on, let me drag this out. Almost 500,000 in volume in the past 24 hours. This has turned into a monster coin, man. 24, almost 25 mil FDV. Aristotle feels like the next, 50 to 100 mil market cap coin. And it was a Genesis launch, and you got it at 200K FDV. So you're up massively if you bought into that. And I hope you did. I did not. I just haven't been participating. I wish I did. I really wish I did. But you're cooking if you got in that. Just wow, incredible. Rabita, let's see. I'm not going to read all this. I'm kind of spot checking it myself. There's Rabita, Wire, the 717 AI token. Just at a 5 mil FDV. I think that one is a huge opportunity. I really do think that Wire one's something special. Yeah, really, really interesting. Okay, do we want to do anything with points? No, let's get right to Genesis launches. And I do want to give a special shout out to Dr. Emma Sage. It is getting so close to bonding, guys. 94%, 94.5%. And you know what? I just don't see this one not making it. I don't. I really do believe this one's going to make it. Now, I also think it's going to have a huge sell-off when it does complete, just assuming that happens. But you've got you got some big holders. You have some big holders with some decent voices in the space that are buying into this one and will be promoting it when it bonds, especially. I tweeted this last week. I have trouble seeing it not bonding, and same today. I can't see this not making it. There's like very little downside there. I don't think there's a ton of upside. Now, like by that, I mean, I think you're going to see a 5x, maybe a 10x. That's actually pretty damn good. I don't think we're looking at a $10 million token here, but I think like 3, 4, 5, definitely. Yeah. It just makes sense. And like Katsy, you're like, you probably have Emma, right? That's the token ticker, right? Emma, you probably are holder over on Spaces. Thumbs up, please. Like if you're holding Emma, I'd love to see, because I just have a feeling here most of us are holding and are going to be rooting for it and like cheerleading this thing publicly. I have a feeling this one's going to get some hype when it finally bonds here. Yeah, okay. Katsy's holding, and I know Kat's Fanatic's holding too, and I am, and I'm pretty sure like Will is, and I think everybody just wants to see this one happen, especially because it's such a good dude, such a good team. So anyway, I just think the story's perfect. I think it's going to make it, and I think we'll make some money. For me, the biggest concern is a big old dump after it completes. If this rips to 500K, well, a lot of people got in at, 100K, and you're up 5x. People will take profits, so let's hope we can shepherd this one in, right? Oh shit, Mike, Monad drop coming when? Cosmos, good morning, man. Yeah, Cat's holding for sure. Moit's holding. Yeah, dude, it's like the core community here. We're all holding. So I don't know what it's going to take to push this over, but maybe nothing at this point. Just the market coming up. I mean, how about this? It's 5% away with the market being pretty shitty right now, right? So again, I think really obvious this is going to make it. Yeah. Okay, enough. Let's go to Genesis. It is the biggest week of V2. I think that's safe to say. The biggest week for Genesis V2. Great launches coming. I'm not going to go past Fables. I'm going to cap it there. And that one's looking interesting. By the way, announcement from Will, he's working with that team. And I think Fables has been working. I mean, they've been working for months. We'll talk about them a bit here. I think we're going to get them on the show too, but like, yeah, Fables is interesting. All right, I'm going to pick these out we won't cover everything. We'll just cover the ones I think are worth paying attention to. It happens to be most of these. And I'll tell you what, for whatever reason, all right, you guys tell me, Agent of Anarchy, is that on any of your radar? Anybody care about that one? And asking because for whatever reason, I skipped that one to start. Like my brain went right to GMFM and I didn't even look at Anarchy. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but I guess tell me if Agent of Anarchy belongs on the board, then yeah. All right, no. Okay, no. Sounds like no. All right, GMFM, by the way, I'll just tell you what it is because because I read about it and it makes some sense, but we've seen this before. TLDR there. I don't know if this one's going to make it. If it does, it's because people want to spend points, but GMFM is like a 24/7 news crypto radio show. We've seen that before. We've already seen it. It's not done really well. What is it called? DGen News, I think. It's something like that. DGen News. It's a 24-hour, or even if they don't stream 24 hours, it's like every 15 minutes there's a new news update. And it's audio. And I like the idea, right? I think it's neat. But there's no engagement on that account. And I like consume news all day and I don't listen to that thing. I don't think we're there where that kind of thing works yet. I kind of think right now that's a nothing burger. So I'll put it on your radar because it's worth watching or looking at and seeing how it does. Because one day something like that I think will work. Right now, ain't it? Oh, dude, I got to tell you guys too, without giving any details, I had like a light bulb moment. I had a moment here where an idea came to me that clicked and it made sense. And it's something I've been thinking about for a long time, but didn't realize it. I think I have an idea for my own project. It's a product. I think it's probably even stupid to say it now because I can't share any details, but it hit me so fucking hard. And it's something I've been doing for years. And it just made sense. I'm like, oh, well, I know this thing and I know who it would help. And I know the kind of money that's around it. And I know how to sell it. It hit me. I might, guys, if I can actually do this, I might actually have something to launch here in the next like 2-ish months. I don't know what the time takes to build it out, but it hit me. It hit me. You might see me on this board before long. Okay. Let's do Nua World. Hang on. Do we want to do that first or Finny? Let me see. Let me make sure I got. Yeah, let's do Nua. Let's go in order. Nua World. Right off the bat, I'm not going to play these commercials, I don't think, unless people want to see them. But right off the bat, I think this one is really interesting. And I actually think right off the bat, we're looking at a big winner this week. In fact, this might be one of the biggest winners this week. I'm going to start by showing you who the dude is on the team while I tell you about it. And to me, in a way, this is in the vein of Aristotle. Not the same product at all, right? Like, not even close. Totally different product, but a product that I think actually makes sense in confined product market fit. Your TLDR on this project is it's like Wikipedia for people, for users. That's it. Kind of that simple. You search a user and it has a profile for them, human or AI, both, right? Whatever it is, any public details about what that person is, it's compiled a page on it, which I think is super, super fucking interesting. Identity search. And I think it's so useful in this space when, look, I think to a degree, we're still trying to figure out who's a real person, who's AI. This is one of those kind of projects that can help with it. Now, it's powered by tokens. Getting access to these searches does require tokens. Let's see here. Yeah, they're calling it an identity layer. Really interesting. I could picture something like this being partnered or plugged into something like Ethos 2. Something like that. Plans for API plugins and integrations into dating apps, HR tools, KYC services. I like it. Now, here's the biggest thing for me, because I see a lot of great ideas and projects that come on here. And I always say, dude, it's like less about the idea. It's more about the person behind the project. Like, make no mistake, Aristotle's a good project and product, right? Cassie's saying we will. Cassie, do you? You probably are very, like, I know the guys here and who's up on this stuff. Cassie, I imagine, is up on the Genesis stuff. Is Nua one of the best ones on the board for you? For me, it's like a top two. If it's not the Finny, and it might not be Finny. For me, it might be Nua World is kind of on top. Might be. There's some really good ones. But for me, this is in that top tier for the week. Coming up in just under 2 days here, guys. But again, the idea makes a lot of sense. Okay, so like Aristotle, where the idea makes sense, it's the person behind it that's the real reason that thing's cooking. The founder, Aristotle, being tied to Peter Thiel is why that thing is doing so well. You got Skynet up there too, though. Okay, no, Skynet's really good. Now we'll get to that too. Catsie's got Finny AI and Skynet as his top two. I almost think there should be a top three. Nua, I think, might be there. Okay, this guy, I'm not going to say he's as connected. He's not as connected as the dude behind Aristotle. Not at all. But look at his followers. I think the followers he does have actually matter a bit. Virtuals is following him. Virtuals follows hardly anybody. That's the number one thing for me, seeing the Virtuals account following the founder of this project. That's kind of it for me, is seeing that dude. Because that starts getting me to think, oh, are they going to plug this into the Virtuals ecosystem to help build out this identity layer for all the agents? And, right? Catsy, right? Virtuals is following that one. It's really interesting. At least that dude. So does Virtuals bake this into the Virtuals platform here? That was it. I saw that and I'm like, okay, that's different. Now look, okay, they're not following the platform X account. They're following the founder. But again, they follow 200 people, 228 people. That's it. And so if Virtuals is following that instantly puts it in top tier for me. I'm sorry, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. Mario Nafal follows. That's, to me, it's not a big deal, right? He follows a lot. Let's see. Drew. Who is Drew? Where do I know Drew from? That's really familiar. Oh, I'm pretty sure Drew is part of the VPN, I think. Don't quote me here, but I think. No, maybe not. Maybe he's a crypto bats holder, because I see a bats community following him. I got to remember who Drew. Is that our Drew? Okay, some of this I want to double check, but I'm sorry. Again, Virtuals following that account is it. The idea makes sense. The connections seem to be there. To me, that's a winner. To me, that's a winner. Growth Traction, they have 2,000 paying users already. Let me make sure I'm on the right one still. I've got all my notes. Nua World already has 2,000 paying users. What? Am I reading this right? Let me even go on their page and let's just scroll down and make sure I got this from the right place. And maybe this worth watching the video here. Again, this idea makes so much sense. Search identity, contribute and earn. This is kind of cool. You're rewarded with these Nua stones. I wonder if they're NFTs because we're going to see a project actually a little later today that does work with NFTs. I wonder if we're going to start seeing an NFT meta here. But anyway, you'll get these stones, and the stones you redeem for these Nua tokens. Hang on, I want to get to their current users again. If it's got 2,000 paying users already, let me see. Like that's a bold freaking claim. I mean, it's saying phase 1, launch the engine. Okay, I don't like this. Okay. It's not bad. This is not their fault. This is just me and writing it down, just kind of taking it from their roadmap. On their roadmap is achieving 2,000 paying users. It's not that they have it. Well, okay, now I'm going to walk that back a little. It's saying August 2025 or out of August. So it sounds like they maybe already did it. They may actually have, I need to chat with them. They might already have 2,000 users of their platform. And they might already have 5 million views on their TikTok and on their Red Note. Maybe. Anyway, this is up there. For me, this is a definite bid. This is a definite bid for me. And when we start looking at these other projects and realize like what people are going to throw, what kind of points, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, they're listing it as a milestone, but again, for August, we're past August, so they must have hit it. I'm feeling like they must have hit it. This would be great to chat with them about. But as I start to get a feel for what other people are going to commit to other projects, this might be an under the radar one that then I don't want to miss. This one looks really spicy. Again, identity layer, maybe we see it throughout the virtuals ecosystem. It would make sense. I like this one. I like it. Yeah, no matter what, I think you're looking at a project that's going to bond at least, right? This is what that's going to complete, and you're going to find yourself probably up on that pretty decently. Let me see. Yeah, dude. Again, I've got some other note. Already 2,000 paying users. Yeah, I think they got it, dude. I think they got it. I need to reach out to him and get him on the show. I think they got it. That's a spicy one. Again, that's coming up in 2 days. Now, right around the same time, these will be open at the same time. Again, you'll watch the points being pledged live, and you can kind of weigh out where you're going to get maybe more token. But Finney's going to be live at the same time here. And Finney's super interesting. Finney's super fucking interesting, man. This one's going to pull in all your, I mean, essentially like all your wallets. It's going to pull in your entire portfolio and essentially analyze it for you, give you tax updates, liquidity updates, market updates, things that based on your portfolio you should be concerned about or opportunities you should be looking at, again, based on what you're already holding, which is really interesting. And we won't go as deep in this because they're going to be on the show tomorrow too, right? But this is interesting where it's not just something that's going to trade for you. In fact, I don't know if this does trade for you. But it is your it's kind of like your financial analyst that's looking at your portfolio. And also a well-connected team. Like a really well-connected team. Yeah, Finney's pretty damn interesting too. All right, let me find some of my takeaways on this bad boy. I like Finney. So do you guys already have Finney as like one of your tops? Moit. Dude, Moit, right? That one looks spicy. Although, Moit, are you talking about Finney? Or are you talking about the Nua one? I think Nua, like something hit different even when I was researching it before. And then when I just put it up live here now, something hit harder. I don't know. I think it's the virtual follow, you know? Mike, did you ever put out community NFTs? No, in fact, I talked to that Maya project briefly, but I didn't get anything from them that they were like really doing it. They do have like a NFT launch pad, but I didn't find. Yeah, no. The answer is no. And that should happen still. Someone should do that, and I want to work with somebody to do it. NFTs for, the virtuals community. That simple, right? Like traits themed around different agents here. Like that should happen, man. That should happen. Retake, good morning. Good to see you, man. Yeah, again, I like this retake platform a lot. Anon GM, man. Finney's got an Arbus Chirp campaign going on pre-TGE, actually, guys, which is going to be really interesting. Drum up that mind share. I know Will pointed this out, too. Will pointed out, like, we haven't seen a project that does a mind share campaign before TGE. Flagship did it, like, right along the same time, too, but this is pretty cool. Cats, I did see that. Yeah, Graham is now in the VPN, the Virtuals Partner Network. Yeah, dude, Graham's crushing it. Oh, Mike, we do have those CryptoSlam NFTs. Yeah. Yep. Those ended up leading to tokens, swarm tokens. Ultimately, like, they led to that. There's more that I hope is going to be done with those NFTs. Nothing I can speak on, but there's more. There's more coming there. Dude, Graham's got it. Graham's got a lot going on, dude, right? That dude's always cooking. Moit was talking about Nua. Yeah, dude, I'm there. I think Nua might be one of my bigger plays this week. Yeah, and Finney's right up there too. I think most people have Finney as like kind of top tier. It belongs there. Let me pull up the team too, because again, that matters. Like I say, that matters more than anything. And when you see their founder and who he's connected to, same story. It's like you bet on those kind of guys. Here we go. Sukesh. Nice guy. Again, he'll be on tomorrow. Connected to Arbus, right? Of course, for their campaign. Nick, yes. Everything empty following as well, which to me, again, another big deal. He doesn't follow a ton of people, 2,000 people from the Virtuals team, right? Yeah, I think this is what, at the very least, going to complete. Pretty damn sure that's going to go at that 100, at that top tier, 100K virtual. Pretty damn sure, right? I'm betting on that. I'm definitely betting on that. Who's the other team members? Okay, nothing there. Yeah. Yep. Anyway. Deeper into Finney tomorrow. I won't spend any more time on it. Just know that that's up there for me again, top tier. Only a 7-day lock. So if that doesn't get updated, guys, essentially you can sell your tokens right away. We don't see that often, man. We don't see that often at all. Catsy, really good update there too. Yeah. Yeezy Labs or YZY Labs, Gate Labs, and Virtual Ventures are backing Finney AI. Finney AI is going to be a winner, big time. I tell you this, if I start throwing out like FDV predictions, I think Nua is going to be sitting at like, just a gut feel, man. I think Nua might be sitting at 5+. Man, I want to say lower than that, but I don't know. I just got a feel with Nua. But Finney feels like it's going to be like maybe a 10. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's the Binance Labs. I remember that. Yep. Okay. That's the Binance Labs one. Okay. I remember that. Yeah. Finney AI is going to cook. I won't be surprised to see that around 10. And I do think that's why this week's so interesting. We start to feel out what levels these Genesis projects, what level do they live at? We had that phase, guys, where, projects almost by default got to like 5, 6, 7 mil. And good stuff, 10, 15, 20 mil. And we pulled back and nothing could get over a mil. We were in that big, long, that darker period over the summer. I think we're back to like way higher market caps and FDVs. And I think like 5, 10 mil is going to start feeling normal here. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Okay. Also in that top tier, and I would say the three we've talked about are the top 3 for me this week, but Skynet. Skynet, really, really interesting. This is kind of like an AI agent launchpad. Or, yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. TLDR, it's like a no-code way to build out an AI agent that they're saying is ACP ready. And that matters. It actually really, really matters. Look, if not the first agent that was ACP ready, right? Our agent, the Swarm, was in the first cluster. But I'll say this, even when you're invited to the cluster, you have to build out your agent so it can actually connect to the ACP cluster and actually do the things it needs to be able to do. You have to get it ready. And dude, the initial announcement of the projects or the teams that were in ACP kept getting whittled down and down and down because these projects, some of them couldn't get it ready. Like the technical chops people needed to get it there, it was up there. And we helped some teams get their agents. We have some really great teams out there, without naming names at all. We had teams out there that they couldn't get their agent ACP ready. They couldn't. And so, Scott, you guys know Scott from our team, fucking awesome dude, helped some of these other teams get their agents like ready, get them in ACP. It's not easy. Skynet is saying that they get these agents ACP ready with just drag and drop, basically, or click this feature and it's ACP ready, which is potentially huge. Potentially huge. So this helps you build out your agent. Because as you know, you launch on virtuals, it launches a token. Does it launch your agent? I don't think it does. It's been a while since I've gone through the process too. I don't think it just launches you an agent. That's still on you to do. And so if you're not a dev, if you can't code, well, what? Then you can't ever have an agent? Well, no. With Skynet, they build your agent for you. Yeah, this one's pretty interesting. Let me go peek at their account and connections too, because they're really connected as well. Also realizing I need to get my notes a little tighter. If you guys saw how I prep, it's just word vomit. It's formatted a bit, but yeah, I've got to get this locked down and get you guys some better bite-sized stuff. A lot of people I recognize following, which is great. Seeing Whitney follow is always a good sign for me. A lot of you guys I see following. Sammy's following, which is a great sign. Josh Ung following, great. So, solid followers. I don't see any kind of standout like, a virtual following or, I don't see that. But again, a platform that actually builds your agent for you and like they're saying, no code. That's it. I need that. I'm not techie. In fact, with what I'm doing, maybe I use something like this, right? I can't code. Look at that. They're saying it costs $20,000 to develop an agent, costs associated with it. I don't know if it's quite that. It depends on what you're trying to build out. Drag and drop interface, no code required. Under $10 to build and run. Yeah, again, this is another that will definitely complete. And when I say definitely complete, guys, it means you're almost definitely going to be up. Now, that changed a little with V2 at Genesis, where when they launch at these higher tiers, well, man, they're launching at, Katz had an example last week. He got on the pre-sale, token sitting at, I think it was like a 1.5, 1.6 mil FTV, and he was actually down a little. These actually have to be quite a bit higher. Oh, look at that. Okay. Skynet and WAC announcement too. Yeah. So they're connected. Yeah. Okay. So we're starting to think, at least I am, infrastructure plays. So what if Virtuals now starts integrating something like this that, for people like me who can't dev out an agent, you click around and you get your agent that's like, what is it? Like, okay, look, I've launched an agent before and it's shit. I typed in a name of the agent. I gave it some personality details. The end. It can't do anything. This is how you actually build them out where they can actually do stuff for you. So Virtuals bakes this into the platform or supports it, right? So you can get some better quality agents. They're awesome. But the biggest thing for me is that it's ACP ready if you do it, right? ACP plus Skynet. This enables agents on Skynet to leverage any existing ACP agent. Interesting. Access proven agents like WAC AI, Luna, Loki. Combine ACP agent outputs with 8,000 plus MCP tools. Nice. Yeah, again, you're looking at a winner here. Interesting partners too. I always question partners. Well, they say integrations too. Okay, that's better. I question sometimes people put partners and it's just something they've integrated. It's not a real partnership. I like that they put that. Token, Sky creates a self-reinforcing cycle, rewards everyone who contributes to the autonomous agent revolution. Nice. Users pay Sky to create high-quality agents, so you have to spend Sky to create your agent. Successful agents earn DC through ACP and the platform. Got to have a good agent that people want to use. And then agent success attracts more builders, higher Sky demand. Okay, so there's the flywheel. It makes sense. What's really going to matter is who integrates Sky or Skynet. And if we see any great agents that are launched through here. If we do, then you're looking at a big time winner. As of now, it's something that will complete. I think it'll do well. I think this lives in, few mil FTV range. I don't know if we're talking 5+. I'm not super sure about that, but 2, 3, 4 ballpark. Yeah. By the way, when I do these guys, throw out your predictions too, market cap, FTV wise. I'm always curious about that. But yeah, Sky's great. Funny enough, though, when I read through that, and right when I know some of you guys have Finney and Skynet top 2, I actually like Nua better than Skynet. For me, I do. Yeah, I think I like it better. Moving on, underserved AI launches in 4 days. I don't think this one's going to be super hot. I am watching it, though. I am kind of curious. TLDR, it's InfoFi / content creation in maybe non-English speaking regions. They're calling this thing, what is it, underserved? Underserved AI because they feel like some of these other areas, again, non-native English speakers as underserved, right? They don't have access to the same things because, like, if they don't speak English, well, then the content game isn't really for them. It's a smaller audience, smaller mind share, all of that. This is a platform that hopes to address that. Now, what's interesting is they have an NFT, and the way it sounds to me, and I've read this a few times trying to like really lock it in, and I don't think they have enough details. Sounds like with the token, you actually pay for an NFT that then gets you in the community to get access to content creation tools and then get the mindshare metrics. So it's interesting. I'm not sure what way this goes. I could picture this one completing at that lowest tier, the 21K, especially because there's again so many good launches. I have trouble seeing a ton of points go into this, but I do think this completes. Let me peek at those followers. I feel like Cons might be following the founder of this. We'll double check, but if Cons is that, that might make me think maybe there's a little collab, maybe kind of partnership there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is no Cons anything there. Hang on. Let's see. That's Skynet. Yeah, let me blow those away. Yeah, dude. Okay. Maybe I've got it crossed. Maybe they don't have Cons following. Let me check one more time. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Anyway, I don't think you're looking at a monster launch here, but I do think you're looking at something that maybe has some potential. We're definitely seeing an uptick in the InfoFi content creation type of agents. And so I wouldn't be surprised if some of these things just kind of, maintain like a lower floor, right? That lower market cap, lower FTV, but that they're out there for a bit. They get their chance. And for those guys after reading through, I hope they do, right? What they're offering still makes some sense. They got a big team too. So keep your eyes on that one. Again, I don't think that's going to be a monster. If you're low on points, I'm not sure that would be the play either. But maybe. Flash Media, this is like, to me, this reminds me of, I think, like Gloria. It's like a news dashboard. It's supposed to be quick, right? Quick alpha, very low latency. So, kind of staying up on hot topics, whatever. Again, I like that kind of thing. I think Gloria is where I go for that. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm staying away from Flash Media. Taika, whatever. This one is interesting. This one I like. I also think this is one of the, I'm not going to put it in the top category, but I think this completes and I think it does well and looks pretty interesting, mostly because of the people involved. TLDR, this is like a memory infrastructure. AI agents that you can launch that have like a deeper memory. I wonder why that matters, first of all, and I'm going to try to get them on the show. I've got some connections to them. Want them on the show. I want to ask why that matters, but they're talking about launching agents in games like Roblox. But again, these agents that remember what they've done and what you've told them, and maybe they can remember stuff even across games, if that's possible. But I wonder why, right? If you're launching an avatar in Roblox, why does it matter that it remembers things? Like, how does that help it? Is this going to earn you money somehow, some way? I don't know. But I know the token is how you access their the memory. So there is something interesting there. They are working with a virtual partner. It's always a good sign. Really good sign. This is Renz. Let's see, do I know Renz? Do we know him from anything? Renz is on the Forbes 30 under 30 at some point there. And see, Renz, I feel like I'm like running similar circles with him or have at some point. I'm trying to remember. Ethermage follows him. Everything Empty follows him. He's got some great follows again, but that's just their partner. That's a guy who's like advising the team. That kind of stuff helps. But I'll tell you this, Lima's following. Like, I love Lima. Really, this dude's really well connected. Again, this is the partner. He's not founder or anything like that. Andrew Steinwald follows Jonah. Yeah, I mean, this guy, again, really well connected. So at the very least, they're getting good advice and really good connections. But dude, they might not need it because the guys running this project have been around, and you probably have heard of them in NFTs. So let me pull these guys up. There's an NFT project that you know some of us might have been in together, run by these guys. All right, here we go. Now this was like a 2022 NFT that I liked a lot. Is this dude? No. So here's their agent. Taika's their first agent, by the way. And I still want clarification. Is that agent token just a token for that agent, or is it what I think, which is like access to the memory? I think it's access to the memory. Anyway, Will. Does that account look familiar to you guys? Do you guys know Will? Will is the founder of the Littles NFTs, which were awesome. And I remember them coming out of the CyberKongs. So that's where I know Will through. At one point, the CyberKongs had like an incubator program, and they would give like banana grants to projects. And I think these guys got that or had applied for it. And maybe that thing doesn't even exist now. So maybe it was like they applied and it didn't happen because that thing went bye-bye. But okay, if I remember right, they did get a grant. And I saw them all over the Kongs ecosystem and collab spaces and stuff. I've heard Will before. I've chatted with him before. He's a really nice guy. Anyway, I asked Henry to connect me to get him on the show. But Will's running this thing. Will's behind this Taika platform. And to me, that's a big vote of confidence for it. It's all about the people behind the project. That tells me if they can or can't deliver something. That dude can. That dude really can. So now I want to learn more about this again. Why does the memory matter? What is that going to do for you as, an investor holder of the token? How does that move the needle for you? How does that bring more people to the ecosystem to buy the token? Right? Well, if there's more projects who want to launch smart agents and they need the token to access memory and maybe to launch an agent, well, that makes sense. So we'll see. And then how are they going to scale it? Well, if they're launching these agents in Roblox, well, there's a way. So there's a lot there that's interesting. I don't know if it can work long term. I don't know. That's why I want them on the show to see. I think it completes. I'm a little less sure that goes to 100, but maybe I if it does, I wouldn't be shocked. But at 21K virtual, yep. At 42, does it get there? I think so. I think so. Let's see how this week goes, by the way. This is launching in just about 7 days. Let's see how the week goes with the market uncertainty. Could it do all of that? It could. It really could. I think a lot of this will be up to the market. Mike Bennett. Did I see JD Vance high school pick? No, but I'm not surprised here. He's goth. Dude, I like it. Hey, we got underserved here. Okay. Interesting. Our project is really massive. Our team is top. Better to check out the website. We're slow delivering what we're doing on purpose. We'll probably push back the launch a few more. Oh, dude, I love that. I love that. And you guys should come on the show. You guys should come on the show and talk about it. I do like what you're doing. Like, it makes sense to me. It makes sense. But we start comparing things, right? So we compare to some of the crazy hyped launch, and then it just looks different because it is different. But it makes sense that you're delivering something that nobody else is focused on. So I like it. So I'll definitely be following. But yeah, you guys should come on the show and we should chat through it. I like what you're cooking. Okay. Taika, whatever. Again, I'm only bringing up projects I think that are going to complete, right? Because I don't want to waste times on ones that we're just so sure are not. So everything we talked about today, I think completes. Taika, exact same thing. Again, not sure if it's 100K or if we're on the lower end, but I think this makes it just too well connected. And then I'm just curious on how much it matters, that memory. How much does it matter? What does an agent in Roblox really matter and do? But I get the potential there. I really get it. Okay, after Taika, now we're getting, by the way, to, a week out. So everything we talked about so far is coming up in the next few days. Just to review, New World is in 2 days. Finny AI also in 2 days. Sky is in 3 days, or SkyNet. Underserved, okay, well, was 4 days. Sounds like they're pushing it back to next week or so. So we'll keep our eye there. Taika also in about 7 days. Dude, I'm really stuck on Finny AI only having a 7-day lock. If that stays, guys, I mean, dude, essentially when it launches, you can sell a token for no penalty, which I think is super interesting. Yeah, dude, I like that. I like that a lot. It's what we ask for, right? We always want to be able to sell our tokens if you're up, and you normally can't, right? You get jail for 10 days. Finny AI, you can sell, it looks like right off the bat. So yeah, dude, something interesting there. I like it. Damn. I'm liking Finny more and more. Again, on the show tomorrow. Okay, Veronica, super interesting. Underserved. Dude, hit me up in DMs, please. Same for Sky. Oh, let me peek then at Skynet. Skynet might be just a week or so too. Skynet's 12 days. Okay, look at that. So then Skynet, I hope we see this more and more, by the way, unlocks way faster. That's how you get your nice hybrid between prototype launches and Genesis. If you can sell this stuff, not be stuck holding it forever, it gets it kind of frothy. Skynet is only a 12-day lockup, which means in 5 days after launch, you can start selling. Yeah. Come on, that's fun. That's fun, dude. And if this market picks up, you could find yourself in some serious profit and then realize that profit finally and not take a penalty. That's exactly what we want. Skynet is releasing tokens unlock early for a listing. Oh, cool shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting more bullish on Skynet too. Way more bullish on Skynet. Already was, but yeah, top 3 firmly Finny, Skynet, and Nua. Interesting. Veronica coming up in what, 7 days? We got a lot coming in next week, man. And Veronica's interesting here. Look, I'm not totally sure if this is like drop shipping, as in they just have a whole bunch of product and they kind of, resell it. What? I don't know. This is an agent that is like the face of an already existing like e-commerce business. I'm going to go on the website. I wonder why you need an agent for this too, but also, I still think AI can make everything better. And as a customer service thing alone, like makes sense. But, we've got another team, looks like almost all, well, a bunch of apes, maybe not all real apes. Yeah, maybe not all real apes. Anyway, but a really well-connected team, it looks like. They already have a product. They have hundreds of sales a day, not like hundreds of dollars of sales, but like hundreds of actual sales on their platform a day. And I know the revenue they generate goes to buying back token. Again, I still like live in the headspace of like, why does it matter? Like, why do you need it? And it's one of those things I'd like to ask them. All right, let's see. Founder here, followed by Mario Nafal. No follows that I know. No follows I know. Same thing here. Same thing here. And same thing there. Okay, none of these guys are followed by anyone I know. I will say, though, the site looks super interesting. And I think what's super interesting is if they start putting out virtuals-themed merch. And they got a mock-up on their Genesis page that shows exactly that. I really think they could do some numbers here. I would buy virtual stuff. And then plug it into ACP so you can buy stuff right through maybe Butler, or maybe other agents can, chat with it and have some like kind of merch made up. There's definitely something interesting here. It's another one I think completes. I just start wondering like, what's the ceiling on something like that? I don't know. Also would want them on to start talking about it, but like, here's their website. So an agent that's customer service, an agent that I think does more though. I think there's actually multiple agents. Like it's more of a swarm. I don't know if they have like the marketing thing and then somebody who does accounting or what, right? But yeah, let's see. Again, these are all shirts. And do we have stickers too? I don't know. But all kinds of, oh shit. Okay, yeah, they have a whole bunch of virtual stuff. Yeah, look at that. Whole bunch of virtual shirts. Now, I don't know, do you buy the clothes with their token, right? Is it let me see their ticker, by the way. Toker is Veronica. Do you buy the clothes with this Veronica token? And is only stuff that's purchased there used to buy back or burn or what? Again, details I want to find out. Yeah, this is decent, right? If they had hats, I would buy too. Put out a Virgin hat. I'd buy that. Yeah, Mike, I think actually a lot of these projects have on the back end, they already have swarms. that just because they're not on chain, but they've got their own clusters of agents. But anyway, these guys already have sales. That's what's first and foremost. Now, okay, I always say this too. If there's a project that has a real business already and you know what the rev looks like, well, you can start. You can say, well, the token's worth this, and I don't see it being worth much more because this is what their sales look like. And even if they scale it, right, token really, to me, when you can start projecting out that revenue, you can then start projecting out what's the ceiling of the token. It kind of backfires for token value. And the flip side's true, right? If you have a project where it's so hard to understand and it sounds like magic and the sky's the limit for what the project is or can be, well, then token price can really follow because you're not based in reality. Well, when you have a store like this and a product and whatever, you are now in reality, and it really, to me, limits what the token is worth. So I lean that way here with Veronica. But that said, again, a lot of stuff we see put on virtuals that there isn't a product. And some of them, I would argue most of it will never have a product. And that's not these guys. They actually have it. So yeah, what's the potential here? Don't know. Want them on the show to talk through it, but I like it. And I think it completes. And again, that's what we want to focus on, stuff that you're at least not going to be losing, right? And it kind of flip-sided, like you should be winning on stuff like this. And I think you win on Veronica too. AI agents with real revenue. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, Veronica, I like. Sales feed into token. They buy back burn. There's something there. All right, let me see. Sunny. Do we have Sunny on the board? Let me double check if I got something for Sunny here. By the way, Veronica, if that launches, if that completes and we see it live, I picture that a 1-2 mil FDV ballpark. I think that's where we're living with something like that. We'll see. Hey, everything changes too if they have a market maker set up and, Okay, coming up in 8 days is Sunny. I'm not looking at my notes. I don't remember if I have this on my list of winners, but I'm bringing it up because there's a couple agents that are in this vein here too, which is like a productivity kind of agent or ecosystem here. There's like 2 of them on the board right now. And I try to just pay attention to these trends. Oh yeah, hey, I do have this one on the board and I remember why. Look, super simple thing. This is the one that Cons is following. So Cons follows and Icy's following, and the Virtuals intern, who I don't think follows it. Yeah, Virtuals intern follows 129 people, and they're following this dude. And that's the founder of this project. Okay, so instantly I'm looking at this one. Instantly, I'm just going to assume this completes just because of that. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe it's stupid. I remember this one now. This is basic. Okay, hang on. Let me get to my notes because I did write up a bit about this. This one is another, I was wrong. This is not a productivity one. This is more like Mindshare, InfoFi, in that vein, right? Social campaigns. It's social campaigns with this one. All right, let's see. AI-powered chief marketing agent has to deal with user-generated content. It's tricky, man, because most of the user-generated content ain't great. Right. But instead of relying on brands or relying on agencies, Sunny turns users and fans into a creative force. Wow. That sounds fuck. All this stuff starts sounding so generic, right? Coordinating campaigns, verifying content, rewarding creators, tracking ROI. So it is SocialFi and InfoFi. It's another one of those kind of plays. So we're starting to see that ramp up more and more. All different flavors. Amplify or Arbus or now something like Sunny or like SongJam, right? There's going to be so many different ways you can get your InfoFi campaigns cooking up. And the more creative, this is what I wonder, right? The more creative, the better. I don't know. Whoever can solve getting rid of the AI slop is going to win this. And I'm not sure if this is the one. Maybe we see. Well, we got to see this live. I got to see some demos of it. But there is one coming up that does aim to solve that too. I'm not sure, because I also would argue the more complicated this stuff gets, the less people want to use it. Autonomous marketing agent. It launches, validates rewards campaigns without middlemen. Yeah, again, InfoFi, SocialFi. A little exhausting just for me. Just for me. It builds creator scores based on your consistent, authentic engagement. Probably for the type of content you put out too, which is good. And they do have a system that checks the content the users are putting out, which is actually pretty cool. Oh, I like this actually. It uses p-hash to check for originality, context to your tweet, and also I'm assuming then you're connecting a wallet because then it checks your wallet to track. Well, they're saying to ensure genuine contributions. Actually, that's something I want to see if we can connect wallet DNA to, because to me that matters a lot. Right? Like, what are people doing with the tokens they're getting? If they're dumping them, do you want to contribute? Do you want them in your next campaign or not? And I think not. While, like, you guys know, I think you should be able to sell tokens, just not like dump fest every time, right? This is interesting. Again, because of the connections, I think it completes. And man, if this completes, again, how many projects have we just talked about that are going to be taking up our points? Like 5 or 6 projects here that I think all are going to complete. I think your points are going to go a long way this week. They have some high profile activations coming. There's a music festival, a soccer fandom gathering, cosmetic partnership. Let me see if they give any details on that. Yeah, let's see. They announced some partnerships. I don't know if they gave any huge details about what that is. Yeah, here we go. Social fundraising with a music festival. You would think if it's a big one, they'd have the name there. But they don't. Here's a soccer fandom, over 40 million fans. So we're working with them. Cosmetic company, again, they didn't say who it is. Yeah, at least they're working, right? They got some partnerships they're coming to the table with. Would definitely keep your eye on this. Again, sounds like something that'll complete. And the partnerships, back to, it will always be about the people and their partnerships and who they're connected to. If they're connected, it works. It gets them there. This one looks to be exactly that. How high does it go? I'll put this right in the middle. 42K virtual. Don't know. Just guessing, but I dig. I think it makes it. Luna, what's up, man? You like the Seeker? Oh, the Solana phone thing. Jelly's back. Hang on, wait. It's just Jelly. Is it just Jelly or is it Jelly? But hang on, Jelly's back. Remember that one? All right, let's move on. Couple more. Actually, this might be there's 2 more. There's 2 more. Weave AI. This one looks also very, very cool. Let me pull up that founder too. I just want to remember if we're dealing with a another dude that's connected. I don't think so. Yeah, no. So this will come down to, is the product good? And this is where, like Aristotle, a good product can make it. His was still really about that connection too. This is a cross-platform connectivity tool. Build complex data systems with a single sentence. So this is going to connect things. If you build products, this is probably like up your wheelhouse. I hope to be doing that soon, but connects like Notion, Lark, Airtable. It lets you build these workflows, right? Transforms vague ideas into structured systems, automates data entry, delivers real-time dashboards. It's a lot of words to say what. It's going to make I think you're like scoping out of building a project, and the way you, what's the word? Like the way you stay on top of it and budget your time and tasks and break down those tasks, it automates that, which I do think is super useful. I'll just man, behind the scenes, you work with teams that are building products and using things like Notion and other tools that are out there to keep track of, you're assigned this task and here's the next thing and this goes here. Like, it's chaos, dude. It really is chaos. AI fixing that, solving that is actually huge. There's definitely something to a product like this. This is where we start saying, like, okay, something like this makes sense. Is this the one, though? I actually want to see, I want to see their project video. I didn't watch it. I watched their founder video. By the way, you can see there's 2 different videos on a lot of these listings, these Genesis pages. So I saw the founder talk, but I want to see the product here, and I want to share the screen one of these projects will work, right? Like they're building in the right area. Is this a dude that can actually like deliver? All right, let's peek.
Hi, I'm Neil from With AI. So let's talk about something we're all been through. You get excited about the tools like Airtable, Notion, or Monday. You think, okay, this is gonna get us organized. You set up, maybe even pay for a premium plan, and then you open it. And you are standing at a blank canvas of fields, views, and automations. You spend an hours on YouTube tutorials trying to make it work. But what you feel just feels off. That amazing tool you were so excited about, you just sit there, letting digital dust. The whole circle is spoken. Tools should just work. This should be an advantage, not a project. So we decide to fix it. Our mission is simple, to finally unlock the power of this incredible platform for everyone, not just the people who have time to become the data experts. You should be focused on your business, not on.
Okay, I don't want to watch anymore. But okay, hang on. That's the video I saw. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to see.
That's it. So we built with AI, and the whole idea is super simple. You just say what you want. We do the rest. Let me just show you how it works. I need a CRM, so I'm just gonna tell it, build me a simple CRM to track clients, our conversations, at what stage the deal is in. Look at what didn't happen. No dragging, no dropping, no configuring fields. Just in the time I've been talking, with AI has already built a complete, ready-to-use system right inside Airtable. The client tracker, it's here with all the right fields. The log for our calls and emails is already linked to each client. It even spun up a Kanban board to track our deals. And the key is, this isn't some generic template. It's a custom system built for you from that one sentence.
Okay, so like, interesting. As I'm trying to wrap my head around what it looks like to build out a thing, I would want, like, really want to use something like that. Still not sure that's the one, but something like that makes a ton of sense. It does. So yeah, watching that one, I'm not sure. Probably want to hear from the team. You know what I see Will doing that I probably need to start doing more? Picasso, good morning, man. Yo, Shybone, dude, that's a great question, and I'm glad you said that because I did want to mention it. Is big old X factor. I keep waiting for something splashy that comes out of nowhere that moves the market, moves whatever, right? Gets us like really into gear here. And a Vader announcement, whenever it's coming, and I don't know when that's coming, but a Vader announcement is something that can do that. Like Vader's just so big and mindshare wise, and his, what he means for the space. Vader's been disappeared for, I mean, dude, weeks at this point, even though he came back with his announcement and they unstaked everybody's Vader, and right, like we all know what happened there. And it's not a bad thing, by the way. He did it because he's coming out with something new. So, dude, I'm waiting for the Vader announcement. Whatever it is, I think is going to be big and splashy. And my guess still is Vader's going to have an agent launchpad or a token launchpad. So just like AI Rocket, I think Vader's doing that. But I think Vader's actually doing way more too. This is all I've heard, and it's not specifics that I've heard. I've just heard that like that's what I put out there. I'm like, I think Vader's doing the token launchpad, and I was told more, like much more. So I think launchpad is part of it, and I think they're going to be cooking some more. Yeah, Catsy, I would be buying more. I did buy more, and I think I'm going to keep buying more, and I'm just going to stake it. I think Vader's doing some big shit. But by the way, I think whatever this next phase of Vader is ends just like the previous phase did. Probably with some probably not great. You know what I mean? As in like he's done like 5, 6, 7, 8 times now, 180-degree turn, right? Like I do this, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day and he no longer does that. He does something else. Vader's done that many times, and I think that's okay. He's just always pivoting to find the thing that is relevant and that works. If Vader did what he did back in the day, he'd probably be done and gone now. Although if he stuck to the EAO thing, he might be like in business. But either way, I like that he does that. And I think he's going to keep doing that. So whatever the next phase is, I imagine is not what Vader will be doing in 6 months or a year. We'll see. We'll see. But Shybone, yeah, I'm waiting and watching too. We don't know yet. And shit, we'll find out. And I would be buying more Vader. That's for sure. All right. So hang on, I want to get out of this thing. Weave. Okay, I mentioned Weave because I actually do like it. Shush it. I like it. I actually think this one. I we gotta see what their mind share looks like. Can he actually get attention? Right. If he can get attention and really show off that product, you might be looking at another one that makes it this time around. I only put it up there because if I see something that the product is going to be useful, then we got to watch it. Now it's on the person. And I don't know enough about the person to say that's 100% going to make it. Now, what about this one here? Nerd. I do not have Nerd down, but I just peeked at the people and hang on. Nerd's an autonomous AI exec that designs, deploys, and orchestrates end-to-end enterprise operations. Huh. Manages sales, logistics, support. Again, these productivity things, these things that everybody's going to end up using this stuff. Like this stuff makes so much sense. So this dude is he part of the team? What is he exactly? Core contributor, not founder, core contributor. And this guy connected? No. Okay. I'm gonna skip that one. I'll watch it, but I'm gonna skip it. I'm not gonna put that in our, our grouping of great shit. But the final one, and I do think this one's gonna be actually a really big deal. And I'll say this, a big deal for a couple reasons. One, because it'll get hype. It's one of the biggest things. It's gonna get a lot of hype. And two, because I think they are doing something interesting. I've heard about this thing for a while. This one, by the way, is called Fables. I think what they're doing is interesting, but I also think there's a point where something is too much. It's too involved. And I don't think people want anything complicated. And we got to find out how complicated. If this is like by the way, this is kind of like an InfoFi mindshare kind of thing. If it takes no more work and effort for people than they're already doing, or if it makes it easier, great. If this makes it any more complex to get into InfoFi kind of campaigns, I don't care how cute and fun and cool and different and unique it is, it's not going to work. People do not want to put in like serious effort, right? You guys see it. Okay, we do this when we trade. It's right or wrong. I mean, it's wrong, but like I know I do this. If I see a trade and I'm like, ooh, I think I can be up 20% in the next month. I don't touch it. I should. I know this. But a lot of us are like, if I can't 5x it, why bother? The same kind of applies to content. If you're putting in a lot of work and you don't know what it's going to lead to, or you get burned once, or right, people want the quick, easy thing. And that does apply to mindshare, InfoFi kind of stuff too. Just how it goes. And so Fables, we might play their demo video, but they've been building here for months, guys. In fact, they might be building for years before. I've just been hearing about them for months. And they're very connected to the, to the virtuals community, right? They've been working a lot with the content dudes and just, firming up their plan. Like they're doing all the right stuff. And then Big Will announced today he's working with them like in a more like official capacity. So like Will's got them as A tier. I'll tell you this, man. I wouldn't put him at A tier. Actually, I could make a case. I'd put him at a solid B. I wouldn't put them higher than Skynet, and these other few we taught, Infinity AI. I wouldn't put them higher than that. I get why Will is, but I wouldn't, even if I like what they're doing. I just don't know if something like this will work or survive. Let's play the video, and if I'm thinking about it the right way, I'm going to compare it to another big launch that's coming out at some point, and it's one that people have already seen and say, so what? So let's play the video. We'll do the product video if this is not too long. Okay. No, let me do the product. I want whichever's shorter that gives us a good idea. Okay. I think that's pretty annoying. Sorry. I just kind of do. It's just my girls throw on like ASMR shit on the TV, so sorry. I do think I'm getting them on the show, which is awesome. I do want to chat with them about this. Fables are AI-powered social fi agents. They transform creator feeds into living, interacting economies. Each creator, so I think like each content creator launches your own Fable, which is an agent that embodies your personality, issues its own token, evolves into a self-sustaining cultural economy. So then fans, I'm assuming that's, your people who follow you, don't just watch content. They play, engage, own a piece of the ecosystem, every action fueling token demand. Okay, so I don't know. We got to ask him, get way more technical. Content creator, any of you guys who make content, do you all of a sudden have a token, and then you make content, and people who engage with your tweets, liking them, retweeting them, replying in this whatever gamified thing, do they also earn token for it? Like more of your token, something like that. Each Fable embodies a creator's personality, turning in content into interactive, story-driven economies. Creator tokens, FPLX, is what they're called. Every creator gets a dedicated token that fans can hold, buy, trade with buyback and burn mechanics. Instead of passive feeds, Fable creates games, markets, adventures. Revenue streams for creators, direct transaction fees, token appreciation, scalability, different events. Again, keep like InfoFi in mind, as we're thinking through this. All activities across Fable's funnels into the Fable token. Future gameplay layers like Matchmaker, Bookie. Is that the Bookie agent that we are familiar with? I don't think so. Treasure hunts. Yeah, let me see anything else. Again, I went on to their website, saw their white paper, kind of like the video. It's all a little too vague. And then the parts that are not are just really complicated. It's just one of those things I think you just got to fucking bite the bullet and you got to actually just go and read it till it makes sense. Or I just want them on the show to explain it. But my takeaway is, oh, did you guys not have sound? I hope I didn't fuck that up. Oh, I probably did. And I just realized I'm sharing it the wrong way. So you probably didn't hear it, and that was probably really boring. So my bad. Okay, ultimately, my takeaway, InfoFi. That's super gamified. You guys got sound? Okay, interesting. You guys heard that video when I played it, though? Yeah, either way. I think you didn't hear the video because I had it shared the wrong way. So my bad. Sorry about that. You didn't miss anything. It was like a really cryptic video about, yeah, you didn't miss anything. Again, InfoFi that's like has some kind of like lore baked through it, maybe makes it more engaging. Again, maybe it doesn't, and it makes it more complicated. Remember ERC 404s and the idea of you could take a fungible token and turn it to an NFT, or take the NFT, turn it into a fungible token? The idea made a ton of sense. The idea made a ton of sense to people, except we learned that when you add that one little extra layer of complexity, people didn't want to touch it. And I think that could happen here. I don't know if for sure. I hope I'm wrong, actually. I hope this is one of the things that actually drives up engagement. But my big worry is as soon as you make it more complicated than just what you're already doing that's already easy enough, then people don't want to touch it. And so then this starts to remind me kind of like what the Doodles are doing. So it's different, but also where the Doodles are launching this creative economy where agents that have tokens, and as you build out the world, everything is tokenized and right, like, and nobody wants that Doodle stuff. This already, again, I can't wait to talk to them because I hope I'm wrong about things and I want this to work. Yeah, like it's a good time to say it. I root for everybody and everything. And obviously that applies here. Like I do like this. I just start questioning is the broader community going to like this? It's like a step beyond degen into like degen, and then extra complicated for the sake of what? Trying to be creative for sure, but people want easy money. So we'll see if this is easy and it's not extra work and you don't have to learn and understand more. Great. So we'll see. Again, I think we'll get these guys on the show. I really hope so. And again, I'm rooting for them. I feel like I was a little fuddier on this than I usually am, but I do think this completes, first of all. Will being on that team, helping, pushing, this will complete, and this probably goes to that highest level. I really do think that. And so I hope it works. I just want to see, I want to be able to use it, and I'll judge it based on would I use it, and do I think people would engage with me if I use this? And so we'll see. They're doing everything right, by the way. Like I said, from their building well ahead of time to the lining things up to the partnerships they're making, they're doing absolutely everything right, like as perfectly as you could do. And so is the product something people will care about? And that's what we'll see. Let me just double check team and who's following and get a better idea from there. That main account. Again, you're going to see some familiar faces because, again, I think they've been, reaching out, chatting with people. Yeah, good people. Yeah, here's someone on the team, right? Mizzy. What is Mizzy? CVO, Chief. What is V? Chief. What is V? Virtuals Officer? I don't know what the V would stand for. CVO. Has some great followers. Again, so connected. Yeah, very, very connected. Yeah, make no mistake. Yeah, Vader follows. Make no mistake. This thing will complete and will do well. So playing it just for the token is seems like a real easy bet. Not surprised to see Star-Lordy following too. Again, this actually reminds me of Eva, kinda, right? It kind of in that they're all in that same ballpark. It kind of reminds me of the Doodles thing. Kind of reminds me of what Star-Lord's doing. They live in this very creative info-fi kind of realm. I have not seen that that's going to get people excited yet. I want it to because I actually like I like fun stuff. But even me, if it's effort and it's not big money for the effort, I'm not touching it. If it's a little money, I'm not doing it. We'll see. Anyway, guys, there are great things coming out. I mean, if you made it through the whole thing and heard everything we talked about, there's some really good agents launching. I mean, very obviously, this is our best week of launches that we've seen in months. I think, guys, right? Do you think this is the best we've seen since like the beginning of the summer? I think it is. So a lot to be excited for here. Next week we'll go deeper out. We've seen all these on the board for a while. None of that stuff's got me excited. Let me just peek if there's anything new, even further. No. Yeah. So that's it. I would say there was about 6 or 7 really strong launches coming up in the next 8-ish days. My top ones, Nua, Finny, Skynet. Taika's right below that. Maybe I do need a ranking system. I really don't want one. But Taika's below that. Veronica's on that somewhere. Veronica complete. Everything I mentioned completes, by the way. Sunny, yes. Weave, I think does. And Fables, definitely at that top level. And it's going to be very hypey. Very hypey. That one's going to work. So good stuff there. Okay. Reminder tomorrow, Finny AI on the show. We'll get a tweet out later today. We'll get a link to the show. Can't wait for that. I really think you're looking at a cook there. And the 7-day lockup's awesome. Means right at TGE, sell some tokens, lock in that win. And I think you might have it if the market wants to play nice with us. So there we go. Guys, I hope you're off today. I do. I hope it's a holiday for you. I hope you touch some grass. It's a grilling holiday, I think, right? Yeah, you go outside and you grill and shit. Yeah, go do that. Step away. I'll keep you posted if anything fun's happening. And we'll see you back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Smash a like on the show. Follow all the accounts. You know the drill. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you later. Goodbye.